Remember when you were a kid and lunchtime was all about play? Well, there's an art installation program here in the heart of Melbourne that is trying to recapture that feeling for adults. And one of the artists behind it is Teen Beck. Teen, welcome to Melbourne, and tell us a bit about this particular project, which has a bit of a fashion Melbourne spring flavour. Walk us down here and tell us about your art installation project.
So this is Colour Me Beautiful, and it's created for the QE Melbourne Square, and it invites people to come and play. It invites people to walk the coloured grass runway and strike a pose and be captured in a kind of coloured, beautiful grid that captures us all playing and interacting with the screen and the public space.
So why is play so important? Why have you focused on the idea of play for adults?
What I'm interested in, how we can create social environments where we interact, and play is that social bond we have in our lives. So we play when we are kids, we learn through playing, we grow through playing. And when we become older, we play in a different way, and sometimes we forget to play. We define play as being for children. So once we grow up, no, we're not supposed to play, we're supposed to work. And we think that work and play are two opposite things. Whereas actually research shows us the opposite of play is depression. So there's a good reason to play, which is to stay alive, to come down and take that invitation that an interactive artwork in a public space is, and try and have an encounter and find your play self.
Well, you've had artworks displayed across the world with the motif, the idea of play. Do people play differently? Do adults play differently in Brazil compared to the UK, compared to France or China, to Melbourne, Australia, where we are now?
I do think we sometimes have a difference in play in how our cultures, how we define genders and how we're supposed to be when we grow up, how our work self and adult self is. So you perhaps have some cultures who would be more stepping into play more easily. But I do think when it comes down to it, and our biology, our drive to play is the same. We are the most playful species there is, and we learn and adapt through play, and that's why we do so well. I've created installations where I watch families come in and the dad goes, no, I'm definitely not playing. And then maybe 5 minutes later, somehow, he stepped in and he started playing, and then I've heard him say, come back out and say, I had so much fun, I forgot to be embarrassed. And that's the power of play.
Well, I like that this is a digital medium because I don't get to see myself on camera enough. And I think the best way to finish this off is to do a news pose. Let's move to this pad here, the pink pad, and try and do a news pose. Do you know how to do one of those, Teen? Have you seen them on?
I've seen
like
one.
this?
Is this like we're going to do like this?
That's right. Michael and Virginia do this all the
one.
time.
Oh.
We don't do it as well as they do, though.
No, obviously not.
Thank you very much, Teen.
Thank you.
Good news poses.
Really
Fantastic.
nice.
Well done, Isk.
We don't play enough as adults, it's true.
It is.
And you need to do that. You need to get in touch with that inner young child.